I want to talk about the both sides thing.
Yeah. I saw the full quote, but you could say it.
Okay, the full quote.
Go
And
ahead.
he said, and I'm not talking about the white nationalists and the neo-Nazis because they should be condemned totally. Joe Biden goes on CNN and he says, I started not to run, but then I saw Donald Trump. He's out there and their veins, eyes bulging, and they said there were good people and bad people on both sides. And that's when I decided to get into the race. Jake Tapper on CNN, this is 2 years after the fact, said, I went back and looked at the tape. Donald Trump was referring to the issue of whether or not there should be a Confederate monument in the public square, that there are good people on both sides of that debate. Jake Tapper said it. Michael Smerconish, who's their weekend host, said it 2 years later. Biden goes on CNN days after Tapper says this and says it again, and nobody said anything. Now, what is that?
Hey, I agree with you, and I saw the quote, and when I saw the quote in full, when I saw the full thing, I was
And
like,
that's probably the number one thing that people give you when they say they don't like Donald
100%,
Trump.
100%. And I agree with you.
Another one. In 2016, there was a poll, and likely voters were asked, what is the number one reason you dislike Donald Trump? And the number one reason was that Donald Trump mocked a disabled reporter. I have a very good friend. I was married a long time ago. He was best man at my wedding. I've known him over 40 years. Perfect score on his SAT. The man is brilliant. He has a son with special needs. And he's convinced Donald Trump mocked a disabled reporter. The reporter in question is a guy named Serge Kovaleski. He worked for one of the major newspapers, either the Post or the New York Times, I forget which one. He has a condition, he has an atrophied arm, it kind of goes like this. But he doesn't go like this. And Donald Trump, you might recall, said on 9/11, there were Muslims that were cheering the fall of the Twin Towers. And because it's Donald Trump, people checked him and couldn't find any corroboration of that. So Donald Trump found an article where this guy said this. They went back to him and they said, did you say this? He goes, well, I wasn't sure there were that many people. I wasn't sure they were cheering. I wasn't sure they were dancing. And so Donald Trump at one of his rallies goes, and the guy goes, I can't remember. And all of a sudden, he mocked a disabled reporter. By the way, even the reporters never said he's mocked me. What Donald Trump was mocking is reporter retreating from that story. There's a website called Catholics for Trump, where they have a video of Trump going like this to mock himself, to mock an able-bodied general, to mock other people. He's a stand-up comic. He does this. I sent my friend a 3-page letter linking him to the website. It didn't matter. And I discovered something. Once you hate Donald Trump, you have no interest in unhating him.
Right.
And that's where people are.
Once you hate Joe Biden,
I don't hate him. I just think he's a race-hustling, tax-spend, regulate liberal who's opened the borders, who has given us inflation, given us high gas prices, and has done a great deal of damage to the country. And the pullout of Afghanistan alone, my goodness, we wouldn't be talking about Ukraine if he hadn't done that. So I think he's done more damage to a country in as short a period of time as I've ever seen a president do.
I'm pivoting.
But I don't hate him.
Okay.